Hello, second graders. Welcome back to Social Studies. We are discovering another country. We have gone to Peru. We have gone to Mexico. We have gone to El Salvador. We have gone to Ecuador. That's what we did yesterday. And then today we have a new country that happens to be in the middle or surrounded by water. So in the middle of the ocean, and I'm going to show you where I'm talking about, okay? So let me go here. All right, friends, we are going to be going kind of in between North and South America. We are going to count it as North America though. So it's in these islands that are in the middle of the ocean, just below Florida, right over here. So let me show you on a map of North America. It'll show you here. See all these little islands? We are going to a place called the Puerto Rico, which I'm trying to find it to show you, but it's just so small, it's hard to show you. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and read my book, and I'm sure it will show you a picture of where it's at. So just know it's in one of these islands down here, okay? Puerto Rico. And before I start reading, I want you guys to know that Angelina, her dad, is from Puerto Rico. So that's a part of who she is part Puerto Rican. I'm going to read this book about Puerto Rico. Okay. Let's explore Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is an island in the Caribbean Sea. It is southeast of Florida and north of South America. Puerto Rico is a commonwealth of the United States. The United States rules it, but Puerto Rico has its own government. What that means is the United States of America, our country, owns, it's in charge of, it rules over Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico is not a free country. We are ruling over it. So we came over and we took over their place, and now we own it. So it's not its own country by itself, but it's owned by the United States. They are not a state though. It's kind of interesting. So we own it, but they're not really a state, and they have their own government. It's pretty interesting. Cities. San Juan is the capital of Puerto Rico. It is the largest city on the island. Bayamon is another large city. Both are in the north. Ponce is a city in the south. It is known for its art. Land. There are many mountains on the island of Puerto Rico. There are plains too. And it's not talking about like an airplane, it's talking about like a plain, like a flat area. The island has several rivers. Puerto Rico has beaches along its coasts. Plants and animals. A large part of Puerto Rico is a rainforest. Many tropical plants grow here. There are coconut trees too. The island has many birds. The official bird is the stripe-headed tanager. The southwest part of the island does not have many trees. It does not have rain much. It does not have rain much there. And then you'll see all the different kind of like tropical trees and plants, like palm trees. They have lots of palm trees there too. People and work. About 4 million people live in Puerto Rico. Many of them work in tourism. So when people go visit, they will go, like people will work at restaurants or hotels, things like that, where people who are visiting the country, they can do something for them. So that's what tourism means. Manufacturing is a large business in Puerto Rico. Factories on the islands make clothes, medicine, and food. So we can thank them for making all those things that a lot of us need. History. Christopher Columbus landed in Puerto Rico in 1493. Many native peoples lived on the island when he arrived. So notice Christopher Columbus, If you've ever learned about him, he was someone who sailed from Europe and he didn't know that Puerto Rico was there. He thought he was going to go somewhere else. And he landed in Puerto Rico thinking he was somewhere else. He had no idea that that existed. But guess what? People lived there before he came. He didn't discover something new. It was already there. People lived there. Um, and those people were the native people of Puerto Rico. But when, like it says, when he got there, um, Spain ruled the island for many years because he was a part of the Spanish explorers and he took over and was like, nope, I'm now in charge. They had lots of fights and he took over and so that's also why they speak Spanish, a lot of people in Puerto Rico as well. Um, so Spain ruled the island for many years, but the United States took control on December 10th, 1898. So we've had control over Puerto Rico for a really long time. They're still not a free country yet. Ways of life. Puerto Rico has many types of music and art. The people have many traditions. These have been shaped by Spain, the United States, Africa, and the Caribbean islands. So that you can tell their culture, like the music and the way they dress and all those kinds of things have to do with all the different people who have lived in Puerto Rico. Famous people. Singer Ricky Martin was born in Puerto Rico. He sings pop music. Roberto Clemente played in Major League Baseball. He was from Puerto Rico. Julia de Burgos was a well-known poet from Puerto Rico. So they have lots of famous people too. They also have famous places. Puerto Rico is known for many beaches. People travel year-round to visit them. Old San Juan is a popular place. It has very old buildings. They show the history of the island. And I've actually been to this area, and you'll see because I've been to Puerto Rico. I'll explain after this book. And then that is the end of this story, boys and girls. I'm going to show you some pictures that have to do with Puerto Rico. And I have some pictures that I've taken because I've actually been to Puerto Rico. My family is not Puerto Rican, but I do have family that lives there right now. That's not where they're from. That's not their ethnicity, but it's where they live. And so we went to go visit them, and I have some pictures. So let me show you some pictures of me and my family when we were in Puerto Rico. First, let's look at the flag. This is what their flag looks like. It looks a lot like our flag, just a little bit different. So the one star means it's a commonwealth. It's not a state, one of our states. It's its own place, but it is ruled by us. So it looks similar, just a little different. Now here are some pictures of the beach that I went to. There's many different beaches, but this is one of them. Look how clear and beautiful the water is there. I loved it. And then here is a picture. Sorry, I keep doing that. A picture of me, my dad, and one of my cousins by the buildings in Puerto Rico. Excuse me. And then this is my mom and my aunt. And remember that picture in the book? Let me see if I can go back. See this area? That's the same place I'm showing you right here, where me and my family went to go visit in Puerto Rico. There's my mom and my aunts. And then this I got off the internet. This was not pictures that I took. So these are some buildings, and then you can see again, it's an island where it's surrounded by water and lots of buildings. All right, guys. So what you guys get to do now is after reading that book and looking at some pictures, you now know some things about Puerto Rico. You need to name 3 things that you learned about Puerto Rico. You guys are learning about so many different countries, which is awesome because now whenever you meet somebody from that country, you can be like, oh, I actually know something about that place. Okay? So go ahead and make a video. Tell me 3 things you learned about Puerto Rico.